welcome to Laura's Fundora. Today I'm going to show you how I made this giant eyeball wreath for my front door because Halloween is coming. It's like as soon as the kids go to school, that's when I start preparing for Halloween. Okay, so let's get started. So first, the material you'll need a balloon that can blow up pretty large, some newspapers, some glue, some water, and paint. And then for the wreath section of the eyeball, you'll want a dollar store wreath metal frame sort of thing, some red yarn that you can crochet, and some black roses. And if you can't find the black roses, you can get red roses and spray paint them black. Okay, so first you're going to blow up the balloon, and you kind of want to compare it with the metal wreath structure to see. You want to blow it up a little bit bigger than the inside of the metal wreath because it will eventually kind of shrink. That's what I found out with this craft. Okay, so then you're going to mix up the glue stiffener stuff, so all of the Elmer's glue bottle with some water, about the same amount of water and glue sort of thing. Stir that up. Then the newspaper you're going to cut up into little squares, and you're going to dip that into the glue water mixture and slap it onto the balloon. And you can get like a bowl or something so that the balloon's not like wobbling all over the place. And just set the balloon there and then just start building upon building. So one square and then kind of overlapping that square until you have a bunch of overlapping squares on the balloon. Then you're going to set that aside and let it dry for, overnight sort of situation. And you can repeat the process if you feel like it's too flimsy and it's not thick enough. I think I did it one more time, one more layer of paper glue mixture. Okay, so now for the wreath section. I just single crocheted a bunch of loops, and I just did a bunch of red all around that wreath. So I single crocheted around to give the base, and then I just did a bunch of loops of crocheting. And if you don't know how to crochet, you can just create that loop and do a bunch of yarn ties, and you can make it ratty by getting like a beard brush or something and just rat the yarn so it's all fuzzy and weird looking sort of thing. So I did a bunch of loops, and at the bottom of the wreath area I did longer loops, so it looks kind of like a dripping blood or veins from the eyeball sort of thing. Okay, so I spray painted some red roses, and I cut off, the stems and hot glued where I wanted them. More built up roses around the bottom and like a couple on the top sort of thing. So that's the wreath area. Okay, so now that the balloon has dried, you're going to remove the balloon by cutting a little slit and letting it slowly deflate. If you do it like a pin cushion pop sort of thing, it might just crumble all on you sort of thing. You want the air to slowly deflate so it can slowly peel off the paper structure. Alright, then I put a white coat, first base coat sort of thing on, let that dry, did another white base coat to make it so that you couldn't see any of the newspaper. And then I started coloring the eye color part. So I did the green base and a black, and then added more detail and more detail, more lines, different greens, made the dark really dark, and I painted some white reflective lights in the eyeball. Then after that, I added some veins red veins around the whole entire eyeball. And at this point, you could do the resin mixture. I should have done the resin mixture at this point, where you create a resin, you know, the two chemicals together, and you pour it on top of the eyeball. And make sure you have like a plastic bag underneath so you don't have any resin dripping on any countertops or floors or anything like that. And then you set that aside for a day and let that dry, and it creates the clearness of the eyeballs, the watery part of the eyeballs. So I should have done that at this point, but instead I hot glued the eyeball to the wreath, and I just hot glued all the way around, and I made sure it was all really secure, and then I did the resin. And I noticed that the resin got onto some of the crocheted parts and some of the roses, and it was just a huge mess, but it still works. So I would do the resin part first and then attach it to the wreath. And that is how I made this beautiful giant eyeball for my front door. I'm thinking about adding a sign that says like, "I'm watching you," or something like that. We'll see how it goes. But yes, if you like this video, please subscribe for more videos like this. And I can't wait for more, you know, Halloween awesome crafting and stuff like that. Thanks for watching.